The following video is made possible by EA Sports and the EA Game Changer program. What is up, guys? Zan for the Zan Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we've got exclusive pre-launch Madden 21 content. Today's video focusing on zone customization of those drops and how you guys can tailor those to fit your defensive scheme. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys are looking to take that next step in competitive Madden, you guys should also check out my tips website, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop shop for all things competitive Madden, whether it's weekly updates on the competitive meta, how to run it and counter it, or the fully fledged out offensive and defensive schemes complete with your personnel groupings and your audibles. We've got you set with one low price on the website. You guys definitely check it out. We have a very functional and very well-developed mobile site. One of the biggest things in competitive Madden and in Madden tips is having those sites that can give you the information you need and make it easy to navigate. Our web developer did a fantastic job of giving a mobile site, so make sure you guys go check it out right there on gridirongameplans.gg. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and hit the field. We're going to be talking today about zone depth drop customization in the coaching menu. So we're going to go ahead and do this here. Whatever defensive scheme you're running, you guys can go to your coaching suggestions or coaching adjustments rather menu, and you're going to be able to basically change up your depth of drop. So let's say that you're playing the game and you're struggling with, for one reason or another, a certain route combination. Maybe it's a mesh or a smash concept. There's a certain route that's giving you trouble. When you take a look at your coaching adjustments menu, you're going to notice that if you go to the bottom, you've got 3 customizable zone adjustments. You've got hooks, curl flats, and flats. So your curl flats are basically your purple zones. Those are going to be zones that play curl to flat, but you're going to have the ability to adjust them to certain landmark drops. So we're talking, just to be clear, about zone drops, not zone match. So spot drop zones. So your cover 4 drop show 2, cover 3 sky, cover 3 buzz, Tampa 2, those are going to be your drop zone type defenses. When you're talking about match cover 3 or cover 4 quarters or cover 4 palms, those are match defenses that do not basically apply to this particular tip. So for instance here, when we're talking about our regular flats, these are going to be your hard flats and cloud flats, telling them how far you want to drop. And these go in 5-yard increments. So you got 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, all the way up to 30 on this drop. Same with your curl flats. You can customize those to drop all the way back. And then you also have, of course, your hooks, which I think is a very important adjustment that you can make, especially if you want your hook adjustments to take underneath short routes, drags, and slants away. So let's go ahead and hit the field and talk about this here. We're going to go ahead and run, let's say we're running a dime and we're running Tampa 2, for instance. And maybe here as we hit the field, we're facing some sort of smash concept. So if we go into concepts and go to passes and we look for some sort of smash concept, you're going to look for a specific route, right? You're always looking for a route that's going to get over the top of cloud flats. So you need those deep, steep corners. So you see right here, here's an example. Say, for instance, when you run this play, you're struggling with this A tight end getting open over the top, right there in that area. Right there, the zone does a pretty good job of covering that in terms of the deep half getting over there. I'm going to go ahead and respot the ball so that way I can throw this to the wide side of the field. But there are times, especially last year in Madden 20, where players struggled with defending those corners, especially rollout corners. So the fact that corner routes have been so effective over the last few years led to EA putting in time to customize zone depth drop adjustments. So, you know, you see right there how that ball is put in a spot where the cloud flat cannot make a play. Now, the deep half is there to make a play. Let's say, for instance, that we were to motion across and go with a smash out of a 1x3, meaning 1 receiver to one side and 3 to the other. Now, all of a sudden, you got Larry running the seam, and you've got a corner route that breaks out over the top. You would anticipate that the A route will be open, and you see how we can deliver that ball. So in that spot, our deep half can't do the work we want it to do. So what we do is we go back to the play call menu, and we're going to be able to adjust that particular zone. So go to coaching adjustments, go to flats, and let's say that particular one, we want it to drop to 25 or 30 yards because it's a very, very deep corner route. You could go ahead and set that particular adjustment to 25 yards. Now, when you come out in that same zone coverage, this is going to allow you to have that cloud flat defender drop underneath that particular throw. So if we go back to the same play, go to smash, and we look for that play again, you're going to notice that this time when we run this, our flat defender, which is Griffin, is going to drop underneath that route. Now, there is obviously a give and a take right here. So if we were to run that same route combination where we motion Larry Fitzgerald across the formation and we take that deep half defender down the seam, opening up the corner, now our cloud flat is going to play underneath of that route for that. And you're going to see how that leaves the check down open. So it takes away that corner route, which is very, very important on a third down and say 25. You're content giving up a hitch underneath. Now, that's not it. We're not done there. So let's say that you're facing a player that is really beating you underneath. Let's say that, you know, they're really throwing those drags underneath and you want to take those away and use a deeper intermediate breaking route over the middle and not have to worry about those drags. You could go ahead and set your flats, for instance, to a very shallow, you know, 0 or 5 yard depth. And you could also set your hooks to a 0 yard depth, meaning that they're basically going to play the line of scrimmage or maybe 5 yards if you want them to drop just a little bit further. This is going to allow you to help take away some of those meshing concepts underneath. Let's just say you're staying in a Tampa 2 defense. What this is going to do is it's going to tell all the hook curl defenders, hey, I want you to play a little bit tighter to the line of scrimmage here on this play, and I want you to take away those shallow crosses. So when we go to a concept and we go to maybe a quick pass, or maybe even something like mesh, medium, and you have those double drags underneath that mesh over the middle, this is going to allow those particular zones to play those routes a little bit better. So right here on defense, I'm going to go ahead and click off of Bobby Wagner and kind of show you. So when we take a look here at this play in our Tampa 2, I want you to watch those yellow zones. We're looking at Hopkins and Williams here on this play. So you see here as we run this, how shallow those hook zones play, taking away those drags. Now, of course, the post over the top is open, but you've adjusted your zones such that you take away those underneath check down options and you can user the middle of the field yourself. So say, for instance, here I wanted to user Diggs in this deep half, knowing that they're running this route combo. You see that the underneath routes are well taken care of. This allows me to sit on this route right here. And that's going to allow you to, you know, play. Obviously, I'm not capable of, you know, using both controllers at the same time and throwing the ball and user picking it. But you see that your responsibilities can change when you tell the computer to play a certain depth against certain passing combinations. So where is this important? It's also very important when you play, you know, your hybrid coverages. So let's say you play like a robber coverage, cover one, in which maybe you have, you know, a hook curl over the middle. So say, for instance, we were to call cover one robber press. It's a man coverage concept, but we still have that hook curl defender set to 4 yards or 5 yards rather. And that's going to allow him to, you know, rob that shallow cross really well. So, you know, if we were to run a mesh concept, now you're playing man coverage against mesh. You're talking about this particular player right here, this 3-rec hook. And what he's going to do is he's going to fly down to a shallow depth and help take away and rob those crossing routes. So see right here how he really gets aggressive over the middle and takes away those crossing routes to play that. Whereas if you don't make a change, maybe he stays back behind it, making that throw a little bit easier when the player crosses and beats man coverage over the middle. So this is not just a spot drop zone. It could also be your hybrid coverages where maybe you're playing cover one, but you have a rob or hook curl over the middle. Just know what type of zones you're playing on the field. Now, this also applies if I were to go ahead and put Jamal Adams into, say, a curl flat and then shade it underneath into a flat. Now, all of a sudden, the flat is going to follow that 5-yard rule as well. And you're going to see how he's going to play really shallow. I think actually I set it 0. So you're going to see him fly all the way down here on this play. So you just see how he does get way down near the line and take away that drag. So you're not going to be able to throw that ball as it hits to the wide side of the field on a drag route. So this is going to be something that you could use to take away your 4th and short. It could also be something you use to protect the sticks a little bit better on 3rd and long as well. And I think the best players are going to do a really good job this year of mixing up their zone adjustments, maybe bait you a certain way with the AI playing really aggressive underneath. And then the next play, maybe they'll drop the AI deep and they'll personally user aggressively underneath, just kind of throw you for a loop. So now the coverage has a little bit of a chess match as well. Now, one thing I do want to say here on the field is that if you play any of these coverages, let's say that your opponent picks up on 3rd down that, you know, they're playing really, really shallow. And all of a sudden they have a fourth down and they go to maybe a route combination that's designed to attack behind a zone depth that you've set of 0 or 5, for instance, all you need to do on the field is reset your play. So by hitting the audible menu and then hitting the left trigger, it will actually reset your play so that your zone adjustments play more stock. So when it pertains to this 3-rec hook, he's going to play his traditional drop and not rob as closely to the line of scrimmage as he did a couple plays back. So you see here how he kind of gets out on that and plays it a little bit differently than he did on the example where I was following a specific drop adjustment. You see right there, he actually took away that flare route to the running back as opposed to fighting down directly at the line of scrimmage and taking away the drag like he did. So there are ways to actually reset this. So if your opponent picks up on a zone drop adjustment and they no huddle you, don't fret, just go ahead and reset your play. It'll clear those rules and that'll allow you to run the stock zone drop adjustments. That way your opponent can't take advantage of knowing what your zones are set to on the fly. Guys, that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of Madden 21 content to get to, not only pre-launch, but also once the season comes out. Again, guys, make sure you guys check out gridirongameplans.gg, your one-stop source to get better at this game, become more knowledgeable at this game, maybe take that next step and start competing in Madden 21. Until next time, guys, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.